Hello and welcome to Master the Moment. I'm Joe.
And I'm Christian, and Joe and I are the co-founders of the Culinary Executive Mastermind. And in this podcast, Joe and I are going to share with you our knowledge, our experience, and our expertise to help you to create a better life for yourself, for your family, for your career, and for your business.
Hello and welcome again to Master the Commitment with your hosts, Joe Rodriguez, our sidekick, Christian Fisher, and our special guest, Chef Jerry.
In our podcasts, we share all of the great things we had the opportunity to learn over our 60 years combined. And our special guest today, Chef Jerry, and I let him introduce himself. He became a dear friend of ours. He has done a lot with our organization, and he's been just a really good friend. And what he's up to, I think all of you listeners would like to know more about, because he's just an amazing human being. So with that, Chef Jerry, give us the 5-minute cliff note who you are.
5 minutes. Wow. God, 5 minutes. I don't know if I can do it 5 minutes. And just for notes here, I made notes for this, and I don't usually do notes. Now, if you listen to my podcast, we don't do notes. All right. So I'm just trying to be more prepared for this one. My name is Jerry Bradley. I'm executive chef at Georgia Southern. I've been executive chef for 20 some years. You can add 30 more years onto that 60. So I think we're at 90. So long I've been doing this. I mean, that's, and like Chris said, really good friends with you guys. And, I think I was one of the first ones to get in with you. And when I saw it, and I contacted you, and I'm like, got to be a part of this. And you guys have been just so unbelievably amazing to me, more on a friendship level than a professional level, but even on the professional level. And you have ignited something in me that I didn't even know I had in me. And I had, 2020 actually ended up being a good year for me because of y'all in this thing. And so I'm one of the few people that had a good 2020. I have a lot of really awesome stuff going on, a lot of good things happening. And every day there's something new. Today I got an agent. I never thought in the world I'd have an agent. Every day is a blessing, and I got some really good stuff coming on. You want to talk about accolades and stuff, I've cooked for presidents, movies, rock stars, all that. I've done corporate stuff. I've done franchise stuff. I've done consulting. I've done lecturing. I've done cookbooks. I've done corporate. I've done it all. Hotels. I've done hotels. So I've done it all. You name it in this business, I've done it probably. So
haven't you even cooked for a couple of music stars?
Oh, I've cooked for a lot.
Somebody in your hometown, maybe.
Well, I do. I was a close personal friend of Greg Allman's, who just passed away last year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he had the Allman's Brothers Statesboro Blues was written after the town I live in, Statesboro, Georgia. And that's on my website, which we're going to talk about in a little while. And you're going to go to as soon as you get off of this. You're going to go to the other website, mine. I'll even throw a couple more music stars at you: Weasel Zappa and Lisa Loeb, if anybody knows who they are.
All right.
Unfortunately, I do not. So I think I need to indulge myself.
It's probably all right.
In that music.
We're still impressed.
That's why we have Google.
So, Chef Jerry, you said something I think the listeners would be really interested in. You said 2020 was a really good year for you. For a lot of people, was a year of angst and immobility, because they didn't know what to do and they couldn't get ready for what happened. Yep. What was the tipping point, or what was the mindset you have or you had to adopt in order to make 2020 a great year?
First of all, there was some personal stuff that took place, and anybody that knows my story, and I'm very transparent about it. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I got help very early on, right before the pandemic, and so that just saved my life physically. But mentally, I just was kind of in a rut and trying to figure everything out, and just going through the motions, and stuck kind of in that stuck in a dead end job. I didn't want to just be chef anymore, for the rest of my life. And, what am I, I guess I was going through a midlife crisis, maybe, I don't know. But then, we all got together, three of us, and man, you guys just bring out the best in everybody, and you brought the best out in me. And I started doing stuff I would have never done if I hadn't got back together with you guys, and you guys pushed me and gave me ideas. You gave me the tools. I'm part of your group. I love being part of the Mastermind group, and what it's done for me is just changed my life. And the passion that it's given me and that I'm living now is it's transferring to other people. They're seeing it and they're like, I want some of that, both personally and professionally. And I'm just, and now, which is one of our mantras with Mastermind is, we don't want to leave this world without passing on our knowledge, our experience, and that's obviously one of my favorite things is teaching. But now as I'm working on these causes and these things are happening, the passion is moving on to other people, and that is just very exhilarating. That it sucked for last year, sucked for a lot of people, didn't for me. And they see my passion and they're like, I want some of that. My wife's a perfect example. And it's just been, good to spread a little love and joy and happiness in the world. And that's what it's all about. It's all about giving back.
Tell me a little bit about the commitment and how that flows into it, and how you build up that momentum with it.
Well, you have to be committed. You have to be passionate about it.
Right.
I think that's the first word that comes to my mind is, are you passionate about it? And being passionate is kind of like being okay with yourself. I wasn't okay with myself. And then I got passionate, and then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm committing to you guys, to CEMM, to my cause, to my podcast, and my charities, and I'm growing and personally and spiritually. So it's all about being, and this is something I've been pushing a lot right now, and I try not to push too much recovery stuff on people, but it's an old recovery trick. It's being okay with yourself first, so you can continue to grow. And then I was able to do that, and then I became committed. And what we're committed to with CEMM is helping each other, growing. It's networking, it's a think tank or whatever, but it's more like a family group, and it's personalized service. You don't get that, you guys talk to us every day. We talk to each other in the groups, and being committed to each other. We've helped business consultants. We've helped somebody sell books. You guys helped me launch my stuff, which is about, I'm fully incorporated and stuff now. So you guys have helped me launch my business. I got to get that book going so I can show Christian about France. But maybe I'll do a self-help book too. I don't know, for Joe. I don't know, but I'm fully committed. So but that commitment comes with accountability from you guys. So are you committed to having somebody hold you accountable? I've been an executive chef for 20 some years. I'm the one that's held people accountable, and now I'm being held accountable, and boom, I lit that passion, and all these things that I wrote down on this piece of paper are coming true. And like I said again, on my podcast, No Notes Left.
Yeah, I love what he said. So today we want to talk a little bit about surrounding yourself with the right people, and we believe in the karma, or in the saying that you will become the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So if you're around negative people, there is a strong possibility that you pick up some of those negative habits. If you're around people which lift you up, it will lift you up. So Chef Jerry, what do you think was the tipping point for you? Or if somebody's brand new to all of this and wants to make a shift and surround themselves with the right people, what actions or what steps have you taken, and what would you recommend to somebody who doesn't know where to start to, find them a support group or have somebody around them which becomes their cheerleader?
it's the same way as we do in recovery. Find one of us that are in the group and talk to us about it. You know, let us be the commercial for you guys, so to speak. And then spend 5 minutes with Joe on the phone. And if you're not pumped up and then, you know, you're not going to be. But no, I mean, the tipping point is for me was just the obviously the personal nature of it, and like I said, I say that all the time about our group. In this industry, you don't get this personalized stuff, so that was a tipping point for me. But so that stuff that ignited all this and my passion was your guys' energy, and you know, and then after I think our first or second call, you know, and people were just throwing ideas out there, and we're all culinarians from all over. You don't have to be just a chef. You don't have to be, you know, you can be a food salesman. You can be in the hotel business. You can whatever has to do with this thing, you know, because usually when we go to conferences or whatever, the chefs stay over here, the hotel people stay here, operators stay here, but we're all mixed together now in the group, and everybody's always super excited to hear what the other person has to say. They're open to everything they're going to say. I remember one time I really didn't have anything to add because I didn't have any experience in what the topic was. But then it came back around to me, and you know, I just threw my 2 cents out there, and hey, guess what? It stuck and made some sense, I guess. You know, and that's what you get. That's commitment right there. You know, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Threw a couple ideas out there that I would think would work for me as a consumer, and it worked. So we're committed to each other, and the tipping point is that the help of each other. People, you know, we email each other, text each other, we share each other's information, and we're almost like our own little family.
Well, I have to admit, Chef Jerry, I've got a picture of you, and when you call me, it comes out and puts a big smile to my face.
Hey, I smiled a while.
I'm diving across the room going, my phone.
So let me ask that same question of you, Joe, you know, with listeners on here which don't know how to get the right people around them to support you. What would your advice be? And by the way, Chef Jerry spoke earlier, and I want to quick come back to that. He spoke about the CEMM. The CEMM is our mastermind. It's a culinary executive mastermind. Jerry is referring to, and that's a group we created. It's a peer-to-peer support group to just be here and be each other's cheerleaders. So if you hear the acronym CEMM, that's what Chef Jerry is talking about. So Chef Joe, asking you, how would somebody start, or what actions should they take, or how do they make themselves available to be part of something like that?
You know, it's a simple question of why, you know, and if they want to improve themselves, if they're not exactly happy where they're at, again, are you happy with COVID? And if you're not, then why are you not? Our networking, our talking, it's a support group, yes, but it's also networking. It's also to advance yourself. It's a whole cluster of things, and it's what you're seeking for. The biggest tipping point for this is you have to, and Jerry, Chef Jerry made mention of this, you have to be honest with yourself. It's like an airplane. They say, you know, what's the first thing? If the air comes down, do we put it on our child? No, we have to put it on ourselves first. We have to, as he said, we have to take care of us first. So that ties into this also. Are we taking care of ourselves? And if not, then this is a great way to do it. Through the pandemic, because we don't have the liberty of being able to go to conferences like Chef Jerry had mentioned, the Zoom, the networking over the phones, the texts, we have a thing with us for Telegram that sends messages over. I just shot off a video to somebody off of our phone. They said, wow, how are you doing this? Here's my video. Let's talk about it later this afternoon. And so it's a great communication tool. And we'll go back to the commitment. I believe communication is the key to this.
Yep.
And once you do a great communication, and there's not a lot of these people in the world who don't like to communicate, because there's really one reason we do communicate: to get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So reaching out to something, the reason I'm calling Jerry is because I want something. The reason he's calling me is because he wants something. We fulfill that. Once we fulfill that, how do you feel? You feel great. So
No, I appreciate it. So if they understand there's something out there, they found their group. So let me ask both of you guys then the question. So they found a group, they have somebody around them. How do they interact with them? And is there a commitment they need to put forward, or somebody has a group? So what would you recommend somebody? They found a group, they're becoming part of that support group, or they growing their network in a way, or with people which they admire and they live up to. And that doesn't need to be a person. I always say, if you have somebody, you can study Einstein, and because there's a lot of great literature out there, you can read up and feel out what was his mindset, how he was thinking of things. So if they have a group, Chef Jerry, the first question to you. So what do you feel they need to do, or who do they need to be in order to be successful, and how do they interact with them, and what can they expect to get out of a support group?
My first answer is probably going to sound a little weird, but it's absolutely true, is don't be afraid to fail. Because, you mentioned the networking and how big and vast it gets here with these groups and stuff. If one person shuts the door because they can't help you, there's going to be 10 more doors behind it that you can open and find probably what you're like. Somebody's going to open a door that's going to get you where you need to be. And that's what y'all did to me. I'm doing things I never thought I would do. I always wanted to do it. I always wrote it down, but I never did it. And now I'm doing it. And every day, I just got elected to a city council board. How crazy is the city of Statesboro for putting me in a political role? That's nuts, man. But that's part of my thing, is giving back to community right now. But anyway, to answer your question is, don't be afraid to fail, and don't be shy. And that's why Joe is so awesome to talk to. Christian, I love you, but Joe, the energy, the man never sleeps. I think he's always jacked up on Mountain Dew or coffee or something. That's why you both y'all are so successful, is that you come at it like that every day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Like, I wasn't kidding, Joe, when we talked to I woke up early this morning thinking about getting the podcast that we were going to try to do yesterday, but then I had the death in my community, and so I woke up thinking of Joe. Really, I don't know how my wife felt about that, but I didn't tell her. But
you might want to keep that a secret.
Yeah, I'll probably keep that one to myself, but I just kind of put it out in public, so I better be careful. But don't be afraid of failure. Don't be shy. I think people are going to be are shy, and you find out real quick who your friends are, because I've tried to get so many people in here, and I tell them all the time how great it is. I go after people for this, and but then all of a sudden they disappear, or they're not returning my phone calls or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, now I've really learned really quick who was my real friends in the networking. So what do? What do you guys tell me to do? We're going to shift over here, and we're going to focus on this networking. And so, I'm just continue to grow.
Yep.
But, the simple answer is just jump in with both feet, head in, just jump into the lake and get wet and have fun and enjoy the ride, because it's going to be, you guys say it, and it's part of the mission statement, I think, on the very bottom, is you will not allow us to fail. I'm living proof right here in this office on this phone right now of you guys will not let us fail. And trust me, that is no truer words have ever been spoken. And you're not going to let me fail, and we're going to continue to grow.
Thank you. So, Chef Joe, I love some of the comments Chef Jerry made on just putting, jumping above in full force, and I call it playing full out. Yep. What would you say to somebody who is on the fence and say, hey, I'm not really sure if I'm ready to make myself vulnerable, or I don't even know how to start, and how do I, get in there and jump in both feet? So how do you feel about it? How would you guide somebody through to, make yourself vulnerable or playful out?
It's again probably not the best scenario or how to put this, but again, if your elbow itches, what do? We scratch it. And it just amazes me. People say, well, my elbow itches, but I can't scratch it.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of following the same lines of Chef Jerry, be yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. And that's what I think is so great about our program is that we are allowing people to be themselves, to break through that, to get what they want. I mean, Chef Jerry, you're unbelievable. You have more potential than you even know. We see it at an outsider in, and we see that in other people. And I don't believe that that's kind of our culture. We're not talking always positive or always being told what we can't do. In fact, I believe we had that conversation earlier, Chef Christian, of somebody, they'll tell you what they can't do before they can tell you what they can do.
Yeah.
So, but let's go back to it. I believe also too, and Chef Jerry reinforced it, I don't believe there's two more committed people to this than you and I to doing this, and it becomes natural to us. And Chef Jerry, you want to comment? You think any of this? I mean, what you see is what you get, right? So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's 100% real. What you see is what you get, and I think I'm the guy in the hot seat for this upcoming call, and I volunteered for it. I was given a list, and I'm being held to it. And tonight I have to go in front of the group and prove that I was, that you all and I did my part, or was held to accountable and committed to my list. And so no, I mean I always go back to, like I said, the personal service that you guys fail. You won't let us fail because you're with us every day, whether it's in the Telegram or you're calling us or emailing or we're texting or whatever. You're not gonna let us fail. So yeah, I mean, you guys are. I mean, what a business model that you guys came up with. We won't let you fail, and we're going to treat you like a friend, not a customer, a friend. I mean, that's a great business model.
Thank you.
And I believe both of us wove our career paths that way, because I always said to all of our employees, would you ever talk to your cousin that way? So you have no right to talk to, we respect a client just as if they were family. And Chef Christian, we both feel the same way on that.
Mm-hmm. And it's really important. I mean, we're talking a lot about, how a group like that can support you. And that support group doesn't need to be 15 people. It needs to be a small group. And one of the things Chef Jerry said is we do have that philosophy that we don't allow anybody in the group to fail. Because if you're part of a group, you're making yourself vulnerable, and the group stands behind you and the network stands behind you to support you and don't let you fail, what you can achieve is monumental. And then also having a group like that, for me, the biggest benefit is we all have blind spots. We know that we don't know certain things, but we don't know what we don't know. And it's sometimes really easy for an outsider to see it, your blind spot, and having somebody next to you, which without judgment says, hey, I would do this because I see or I feel that this could be something which could just launch you. Maybe do less of that and do that. And that's, I believe, is the beauty of this, and getting with the right people and having that mentorship and being open to be mentored. And Chef Joe, you said it right. I believe our industry is somewhat, I always compare it to the military. We do it because we love it, and we don't want to show weakness. We don't want to show fear. We don't want to show that we don't know. But I think there's a beauty on that. And if you have somebody who raises their hand and says, hey, I'm struggling with that, and people are willing to help, because I honestly feel if you have a skill which can help somebody get to the next level, I believe you have a responsibility to teach them, because if not, you let them down. And if you can share something which took you 10 years to overcome, and you part of this, and you can do it in a 3-week or 1-month cycle, can you imagine what an impact it can have for that person, the person they coming in contact with their life and with their career and with their families? So I believe that we all have a responsibility. If there's something it's your responsibility to share it and help other people to grow.
Right. And, there's also our commitment is natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I know so. I see it in Chef Christian. He gets more joy out of watching you, Chef Jerry, rise to the top. Soon as your web came
Website.
over. Yeah, your website. I mean, Chef was calling and emailing and texting. I don't know how he did all 3 things at the same time, but it just went kaboom.
Yeah.
And so it's the joy and the passion from us seeing other people succeed.
Mm-hmm. So just before we finish up, one thought from all of you guys. So what do you feel is a benefit being part of a group? And what would you say to somebody who is on the verge, they don't know where to start, and how would you encourage them to go about getting into a group? So Chef Jerry, start with you.
Me first. The benefit is immeasurable. I don't know that there's one word or a scale that you can really measure it, but it's the most useful tool that you'll ever have. Over the holidays, I was talking to somebody, and they didn't know I was a chef, I guess, which is weird. But anyway, they're like, "Oh, you're a chef. It's so cool." I was like, "Yeah, I don't play with knives anymore, though. I'm a numbers guy. I'm an operations guy, And and they're like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." So, but that's what being part of a group like this will do. I've grown from just playing with knives to start my own business now, and that came from you guys. And I'm still chef, I know, but I'll always be that. But but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many benefits of it, but don't come in as just a networking tool and think you're going to get just some people's numbers and get some accounts. That's not what it's about. Yeah. But we'll do that for sure. I helped somebody get an account in Atlanta through so that's what we're for. So we are there for your personal growth for sure. But just like you guys said about me, and of course I've known you for a while. We always joke I'm the poster child for this baby, right? I went from being a miserable son of a gun to I'm fully incorporated. I'm part of a local government. I have a nonprofit charity about to launch. I have a website. I never thought I have a website that has like 6 pages on it. I have a graphic designer on payroll. I just got an agent. We look at the results, and we've been doing this 6 months.
Yeah.
That was in 6 months, and I would have never. 6 months ago, I would have told you you're freaking crazy if I would do that. I would have told you you're crazy if I'd get on this website with you. Why? And the funny thing, it's for real though. How did I come back to you? Christian, I knew. So I went to Chef and I said, "Hey, I hate my job. I hate my life. You got anything open?" And that's how we stayed in touch over the years. I was always begging you for a job. And then I saw this, and I'm like, okay, I want to be a part of that. And look where we are in 6 months. My wife even wants to work with me. That's crazy.
So what that is, it's again being happy. And you, Chef Christian, you say somebody being on the fence. Well, I guess the easy question is, you want to be happier? And we see the glow in you, Chef Jerry, every day. That's why I said I will dive across the room for my phone when I see your picture coming, going choo choo. So and you can hear it through your voice.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no greater satisfaction on our part. There's no greater satisfaction on your part. And if, you know, running a $1 million business makes you happy, or running a $10,000 business makes you happy, it doesn't matter. It's just making you happy. And
Mm-hmm.
so I guess that's part of the answer back to you, Chef Christian. You know, let's make somebody happy. And again, I'll go through my weird analogy. If your elbow itches, scratch it. If you want to be happy, be happier, come see us.
Yeah, and I believe in any networking group or in any support group, you know, it's important that you evaluate that they fit you, and that the group has a synergy which helps you to grow. And being within that, and I love the analogy from Chef Jerry, being vulnerable and being open to
Yep.
be coached. I believe that's the greatest thing. And I think, Chef Jerry, I think the biggest benefit we overseen with you, you're very coachable, and you're not intellectual in a way, hey, they said to do this, you're just doing it, and you get the benefit of the results for that.
Yep.
Because sometimes we just are so in our head and we overthink it, and then we never take action. And not taking action, I think, is the worst thing at it, because you kind of mobilize yourself to kind of to be open to growth. And then having the group which supports you, we have somebody who built a family business from a $2 or $4 million to a $20 million business. Yep. Do you want somebody in that circuit? I would like him, you know, in my circle. We have somebody, you know, which said, I have an idea, and I always had the passion of creating a skewer. And 60 days later, that person created a business and took the first order a few days ago. And those are the kind of people you want to be around with, because I honestly believe we do more for others than we do for ourselves. So if you have a group which holds you accountable and holds you to a higher standard, and you live up to that, it's not receiving that standard or the next level. It's the person you become. And what I see with you, Chef Jerry, is what this whole thing brought out of you is the real you.
Yep.
The other person
Absolutely.
is something that desired, the created, and which was expected of you. We seen it. I mean, Joe and I spoke the first 30 days into it. It says, oh my God, he looks different. You know, it was amazing to see that. So be happy to have you part of the program. Be happy to have you here on this call. I just want to wrap up and talk a little bit about you. So what are the great things you are all about? What are you doing? How can people find you and learn more about your nonprofit you're starting? So just finish up with that and talk a little bit about all of the great things you are up to and how people can get a hold of you.
Okay, yeah. I have a lot of really amazing things to do, and it is all about giving back, whether it's our knowledge and our job. First, I want to go back to, I think you said I wasn't an intellectual, so I don't know if that's that French-Austrian hint again coming out. So we'll have to work on that. We definitely got to work on that tonight. I'm wearing the French hat again. No, I'm done with that. And then, you know, and then you hit the nail on the head. Well, actually, when you were calling me dumb or whatever. I remember a conversation with Joe, Chef Joe, early on, probably first 30 days, whatever. And he called me every morning like he did. And he's, what are you doing today? What are you doing today? And I rattled off, you know, I'm trying to trademark, blah, blah, blah. He goes, stop all that crap. He used a different word, but we'll keep this PG-13. And he's like, no, tell me one thing you're going to focus on and do today. And that really stuck with me. I mean, it's resonated with me with everything now. And I've never been told, no, stop that bleepity bleep. You know, and that's what you just said, Chef Christian, overthinking it. And that's exactly what I was doing. And Joe put me in my place. So, and what happened is now that I have a company launching that is called Angels Anchors, people, it is to help people get the help they need in recovery and from substance abuse and substance abuse awareness, to get those in rehabs and build better facilities, you know. And it's going to be a retail based thing, but all proceeds will go to helping others. This isn't about me making any money or anything. It is 100% proceeds are going to help people with substance abuse, whether it's alcohol like me or addiction of drugs or whatever. We're all addicts. Doesn't matter if you're an alcoholic or a druggie. And so, you know, it's about giving back to the community. And that's how I got involved with the city, and now why I'm on a board. I'm on the board for the city for workplace diversity because of that, and I'm giving back to my community, and that's what it is. So Angels Anchors, you know, I'm all over the place now. I do have the website that we talked about at launch. It is a work in progress. There is a couple of typos and stuff, so please forgive me. We're working on it. My graphic designer's working on it, but it's just Jerry G. Bradley, my name, all lowercase.com. Get out. Everything's there to know. You want to get to know me? I have this really long bio that, you know, Joe told me was too long, but I left it on there anyway. But you know, that way you can get to know me better. And my cause is there. I have an awesome logo, man. If you don't like my logo, you're just not cool, dude. I'm sorry. My logo is really badass.
And tell us about your signature line
on there, as we mentioned earlier, because I knew Greg Allman. If you don't know who he is, you young people, Google him, please. He's a famous person. He was married to Cher. Do you know Cher? He was married to Cher. But I've been doing all this out of pocket. And, I don't know if you know, I work for the government, so I don't make a lot of money right now. So I need money. So I have a GoFundMe out there, which is trying to raise money for to get some better equipment and stuff, and the trademarking and the stuff I got to finish up, and to start getting stuff. I have contracts with everybody, man. I got Zippo. I mean, you think it's something. If you have something to sell, call me. I'll sell it for you. So, you know, but I also do have a fundraiser out there with, and it's all this is on the website, y'all. With custom ink, where you can buy a t-shirt. It's an awesome looking, just Teal's t-shirt, again with this huge, massive, beautiful logo, and my website on the bottom. So please buy that. I really need the money, and I need to get the word out. And my logo is just awesome. I mean, you're going to be walking around, and people are going to want to ask you about that, and that's what I need. I mean, all jokes aside, if you buy that T-shirt and you're walking around with this big logo that says Angels Anchors, people are going to ask you what it is and what it's about, and then you're going to be able to tell them it's about a charity to help people that are suffering. And that's all. That's what I need. That's what I don't really, you know, the money thing. All jokes aside, I need to get the word out, and I want people to know that there are those of us willing to help those who are suffering. And I did the hard way. I don't recommend it that way, but it is my lot in life now to give back. And that's all I care about, is giving back.
Awesome. Chef, thanks again for giving so generously of your time and being part of this. What we will do for the listeners, we will give all of your information at the description, so you can look at the description on how to find Chef Jerry and support his cause and his nonprofit. We honored having you here. Thanks for being part of the program. Again, my name is Christian, and Joe, we both the co-founders of the Culinary Executive Mastermind. So if you ever thought about being part of a mastermind, check out culinaryexecutivemastermind.com. We supporting the culinary industry, and it's our mission to help people lead a better lifestyle and create a better life for themselves and for their family. So with that, I turn it over to Chef Joe to wrap us up, and we see you and hear you guys at the next podcast.
And I just want to say thank you to all our listeners. Thank you. A big shout out to our special chef, Jerry. And again, make it happen.